Welcome to In Her Voice. My name is Kelly Covert, and I am passionate about helping women live authentically by listening to their inner voice. Get ready to be inspired by women of all walks of life that have set aside their should-bes and not good enoughs and are standing in their true voice, the voice of wisdom that each and every one of us has inside. Hello, this is Kelly, and you are listening to In Her Voice. And I first just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to spend time with you like this. Thank you for inviting me into your space, into your heart, into your car or your kitchen or wherever you might be listening to this, because that really means so much to me. So thank you. Today, I have a really cool, I don't know if it's cool. It's just something that has been on my heart to share with you. And my life is so interesting because I always notice when certain things keep coming back up to me. I always take that as a sign, like, Kelly, you need to pay attention to this. Kelly, you need to spend some time with this. Kelly, you need to share this because you're not the only one that this is going to have an impact on. And so the message that I've been getting quite often in a lot of different ways over the past couple of weeks is this idea of not allowing yourself to betray yourself, not betraying ourselves. And it's been really interesting. It came up in my episode of In Her Voice, episode 118 with Shireen Thor, where we talk about awaken your inner rebel. But we really talked in that interview a lot about abandoning yourself. And that word didn't super resonate with me. But then I was listening to another podcast, a Super Soul Conversations podcast with Oprah and Carolyn Miss. I highly recommend. It's a very good listen. And they said it another way. They said, every single time you betray yourself, you're taking away your power. And with every choice that you make, you have an opportunity to either empower yourself or disempower yourself. And I feel like these two things, this idea of not abandoning yourself and not betraying yourself, are the same. It really just sort of came full circle for me and helped me get it. This opportunity we have every single choice we make, for that choice to be in alignment with our true self, not the self that we think we should be, not the self that other people want us to be, not the self that our parents told us to be, or our grandparents told us to be, or our employers told us to be, right? But our true self. And I really believe strongly that whenever we make those decisions that are not aligned, we essentially betray our true self, it's painful for us. And that can send us into a tailspin where it's not just one choice that betrays ourselves, it's choice after choice after choice. And for me, I really have had an experience of like coming to the realization that sometimes this happens to me, where one choice is a betrayal that leads to many more. And I'm just being really transparent with you guys because I want you to know that I'm in this with you. I get it. I'm not just talking about this from this, high place of like, oh, I've been there and I've been through it and I'm done with it. No, it is constant work. It's constant awareness to understand on a deeper and a deeper and a deeper level what it means to make choices matter in your life. And I made one choice about 2 weeks ago. And that choice was, I'm going to take a break from being super disciplined about what I eat. And I'll tell you exactly where that choice came from. I have been very meticulous about how I've been eating and the discipline that goes into that for a really long time, but specifically for the last year. And I started to get to this place where I was like a little bit resentful of that. Like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of having to write down my food. Like, why can't I just be someone who can, go by the seat of their pants and eat whatever I want? And so I decided to take a break. And it's interesting because in the moment of that decision, I didn't really dig into it, but I think on the surface level, I felt like it was a form of self-care. And in fact, I remember talking to a friend of mine saying, I just really need a break. It's been really hard on me mentally, and I think this will be good for me. Well, since I made that decision 2 weeks ago, what has happened to me is I've made more and more choices centered around the food that I'm fueling my body with that are not aligned with my soul, that do not make me feel good. All in sort of this, decision that was cased in an idea of self-love. And I realized that what happened was I betrayed myself when I made that decision. I said, this is what I need right now in this moment, but I didn't align that with who I am. And who I am is a person who needs structure around eating. That is who I am. That is the reality of that. And I have to tell you, I don't love that. I don't love that I have to have that structure. I want to be a person who doesn't need that, but I'm not. And that's okay. And so I'm going to give myself grace. And I'm also going to say I've taken this time now to recognize that the structure is a gift that I can give myself. The structure is a choice that I can make that will not betray myself. It's a choice that I can make that while it's challenging for me, it's also going to be in my best interest in the long run. And I think that we all have to deal with choices like this. Mine in the past 2 weeks has been around food. But there are so many other areas where we really have to get very clear on making choices, making decisions that are aligned with who we are, our soul, right? That means being aligned with our passion, being aligned with our purpose, being aligned with our calling and our gifts. So some of those areas are food, like it was with me. It could be for you routine. Maybe it's how you move your body, exercising, the kind of exercising that you do, knowing what feels good on your body, knowing what works for you. It could be boundaries. Hello, ladies out there. I know that a lot of us struggle with this, right? We struggle with saying no to the people that we love because we feel like that's who I have to be. We struggle saying no to things that are not going to be powerful decisions for us, even though they might be powerful decisions for someone else. Okay, you need to sit with it. You need to see how these decisions feel. You need to think about, is this choice going to fuel me or is it going to drain me? That's a really good way to sort of get to the heart of something. Imagine doing the choice. Imagine not going to the gym, or imagine making the choice to go for a long run even though your body is tired. Two sides of the same coin, my friend. Because it's all about listening to what you need, to what is good for you, for your soul. And it's not always the easy decision, but it is the right decision. Are you with me? Are you guys staying with me? Another area that we do this as women a lot is self-care, making ourselves a priority, saying, I do put myself at the top of the list in order to be able to serve those around me. Maybe it's in your job. Maybe you get up every single day and you go to work and you make a great paycheck, but you come home and you feel miserable. You need to get real with yourself on that. Maybe it's not the job itself. Maybe it's how you are being in that job. Maybe it's the way that you're apologizing for who you are. Maybe it's the way that you shy away from taking up space. Maybe you're making yourself smaller in that job. Maybe you are not allowing yourself to shine the way you know you can shine because it might hurt someone else's feelings, or someone might feel like that you're stepping on their toes. You know what? Get clear with yourself on the decisions and choices that you need to make to help you feel empowered, not disempowered. Because every time you apologize for something that doesn't need to be apologized for, guess what? You just betrayed yourself. Every time you step back instead of speak up an idea that you know is a good idea because, gosh, no one's going to listen to me, or they don't want to hear that from me. Every time you do that, you are betraying yourself. You are betraying your gifts, your purpose, your soul's calling. And when you put it like that, you know what? It's worth how scary it might feel to put yourself out there. It's worth putting the spinach in the blender for your smoothie instead of going for the apple fritter. True story. You guys, it's worth it. So I'm just here to share what's on my heart today. I would love to know if this made a difference for you. If you are really feeling like, yeah, Kelly, preach it, let me know. Take a screenshot of you listening to the podcast and share it with me on social media. Tag me at Kelly J. Covert on Instagram or in your stories or over on Facebook, because it makes a difference. It makes a difference for me. It makes a difference for every single woman who might hear this, who needs it. Let's spread this word that we have the power to align with our souls instead of betraying ourselves with the choices that we make. Ladies, remember, you are worthy.